What's going on, people? It's your boy EB. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I know it's been a minute, but that don't even matter. I'm here, and that's the main thing. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Make sure you share this video with people and all that good stuff. Before I jump into the video, make sure you check out the Christian apparel that we got going on. Godfidence Apparel, www.godfidenceapparel.com. Go get your Christian clothing. We out here. Number one, and we're bossing up. Alright, yeah, so cool. Today's video, 5 things that Christians should have patterned before they're 25. Let's go. Alright, cool. So obviously number one is pattern your relationship with God. Pattern your relationship with God. It doesn't matter who you need to distance yourself from. It doesn't matter what you need to cut out. It doesn't matter what activities you need to cut off and all that kind of stuff like that. The most important thing in your life, obviously, is your relationship with God. Everything flows. Everything that you do in your life flow from there. Relationships, career, which is all the things that I'm going to touch on in a second. Business, ideas, mental health. For everything that you do in life, yeah, flows from your relationship with God. You need to make sure that you've got a strong prayer life. You need to make sure that you have a strong word life. You need to make sure that you're worshiping. You need to make sure that you're out in the streets spreading Jesus, introducing people to Jesus. Your main thing, the main thing, I always say this, keep the main thing, and Jesus is the main thing. A lot of us, we try and focus on everything else. We try and focus on friendships. We try and focus on relationships. They're not the most important thing. We try and focus on our career. We try and focus on uni. We try and focus on making money. That's not the most important thing. We try and focus on pleasing our parents. We try to focus on this and that and all kinds of things, right? And then we don't have the main thing patterned. We try and focus on personal development and motivation and self-help and all this kind of stuff like that. And all of that, we got all of that done. All of that's looking nice. And then later in life, we turn around and we like, yo, now let me get my relationship with God right. And it's like, yo, everything that you build outside of God, right? It might not even be right. It might not even be what He's called you to do. Some of us know what I'm talking about. So why build a life? Why do this and that? Establish different things, get into a relationship, all that kind of stuff like that. Only to give your life to only to take a relationship with God later on seriously, and then find out that, oh snap, this is not what God, this is not His will, this is not His will. I'm gonna have to cut this, I'm gonna have to take this out, I'm gonna have to break that down, I'm gonna have to do all that. So make sure you look after the main thing. Your relationship with God is the main thing. So the first thing you want to have pattern as a young Christian before the age of 25 is make sure you have your relationship with God pattern. All right, cool. So second thing that you want to have sorted out as a young Christian before the age of 25, something that you want to be looking at is you want to understand your design, you want to understand your identity, you want to understand your purpose. Why do I say this? Many people have got degrees, many people have got masters, many people have got great careers, many people have got great jobs, don't even know who they are, right? Many people are ministers, prophets, evangelists, pastors, all this kind of crazy stuff, got all this, they've built all this good life and all that good stuff there, right? And still don't know who they are, still don't even know what they've been called to do. So the main thing is, after you pattern your relationship with God, you need to understand why you're here. Not only do you need to understand why you're here, you need to understand who He's called you to be, identity. Who are you in Him? Who is He in you? Many of us don't even know this. Most of us in life are just winging it. Most of us in life are just freestyling it, trying to pick up things here and there. Like, for example, I always say this, when it comes to your purpose, there's always a two-piece to purpose, place and people, right? When you know what your purpose is, you'll know who to be around. You know what kind of people to keep yourself around. When you know your purpose, you know where to go and where not to go. See, a lot of us are just carrying ourselves anywhere, trying to latch ourselves onto any cool group that we think is cool and that we want to be with. We listen to anyone, we go to this event, we go to this place, and it's like, nah, you're not supposed to just carry yourself anywhere. You're not supposed to just be hanging about with everyone. Everything that God does in life is all about purpose. Even relationships, when God introduced Adam to Eve, it wasn't for love. He looked at what Adam was doing, was saying, yo, this could be better. Let me make you a help that's that's equal, that's right for you, so that this could be better. So everything is about purpose, right? Now, obviously, I'm not saying that you don't have to be attracted to the person and all that, but everything that God does is all about purpose. He doesn't make no mistakes. He does everything on purpose, right? Many of us are not living on purpose. Many of us are just living, just freestyling, making mistakes here and there. Pattern your relationship with God. Understand your design, right? A shark can't go and climb monkeys and climb trees with monkeys. A lion can't go and swim with the sharks. Why? Because with your design comes environment, right? Your purpose, you can't just carry yourself a shark can't just carry itself anywhere. Why? If it comes out of the water, it's going to die. Lion, powerful creature, but the moment it comes out of the environment that it's designed for, it's going to find itself in trouble. So understand your purpose, understand your design, understand your identity. Many of us are doing life, doing everything else, and still don't even know who we are. Number 3, yeah? The third thing that you need to pattern, right? Listen to me, please, especially the guys. Especially the guys. The third thing that you need to pattern, right, is your finances, your career, or business. Whatever it is that you want to do. If it's career, make sure you pattern your finances. If it's business, make sure you pattern your finances. If it's a job that make sure you pattern your finances. Make sure, listen to your uncle. Make sure you pattern your finances. Make sure you pattern your there's nothing holy about being broke. Being broke doesn't make you more of a prophet. Being broke isn't gonna make you hear the voice of God a little bit clearer. Being broke isn't a sign that you're humble, right? Same way that having money is not a sign that God's with you. Same way that having riches and cars doesn't mean that God's blessed you, right? But there's this mentality, right? The church, a lot of the church is allergic to money. Church is supposed to be the ones that rule and reign with God on earth, right? But we're the ones renting buildings, whereas the Sikhs, the Muslims, building their own buildings, got their thing made out of gold and all this kind of stuff like that, and we're renting office spaces and renting places just above trap houses. And it's like, yo, many are Christians, many of us don't have our finances patterned. Like, we get saved, you get spiritual, you're gonna pray all day and feel like that God is just gonna pay your bills. Like, understand, I mean, that might happen. I'm not gonna say it's not gonna happen, right? But understand this, we're supposed to be partnering with God. Becoming a Christian and hearing the voice of God and being prophetic is not an excuse to get lazy, right? Some of us are called to do business. Some of us are called to be in careers and all that kind of good stuff like that. Like, pattern your finances. How many of you can lend someone £500 and not feel it? How many of you can lend someone £1,000 and not feel it? This is gonna save you. This is gonna save you when you get older. If you make sure, pattern your, have a solid job. If it's business, study, step out, do your thing. But even if you're doing business, right, don't just step out, I want to walk out of faith and do business. No. Have a job, work somewhere, do business. When your business gets to the place where you can pay all your bills comfortably, then you can quit your job. Like, so many of us as Christians, especially the guys, right, have stepped out to do this whole business adventure thing, right, and we're broke, busted and disgusted, can't make ends meet, can't even find the ends to make them meet, all this kind of stuff like that, right? And it's like, oh yeah, it's a part of the journey, it's a part of the process. You didn't have to go through that battle. Even if you win a battle that you were never supposed to be fighting in the first place, you're still a loser. And a lot of us are winning battles that God never told us to enter into. And we're like, yeah, I overcome. And it's like, yeah, you was never supposed to be there in the first place. Like, and so many of us are struggling financially for no reason. Get a job, pattern it. Many of my struggles in life, many of the things that I've been through, if I just had a job, and it doesn't matter what job you get, as long as you can pay bills and as long as you're good and you've got your finances patterned, listen, you will be able, everything will flow from there. Like the mental health, all the issues, some of the stuff that you go through in life is just like, it can be helped. It can be helped. So pattern your career. Know what you want to do, where do you want to work, how far do you want to go. All of these things need to be patterned, or it would be brilliant if you can have them patterned by the age of 25. So many of us as Christians are walking around as just headless chickens, don't know what we want to do in life, don't know our left from right, don't know how to tie our shoelaces, and it's like, oh yeah, God's going to sort it out. It's like, no. You have to go after this thing on purpose. You have to be diligent with it. You have to be intentional, right? God's just not gonna throw out your whole life's purpose and tell you from A to Z exactly what you're gonna do and how it's gonna look just by you sitting around and watching Netflix and going out for Nando's and having a cheeky night in with the girls. Like, you have to do something about it. All right, point number 4, stay away from relationships, right? And when I say relationships, stay away from relationships. Stay away from relationships. Stay away from relationships. Now, my point number 5 is fall in love, right? But there's two dynamics here. I'm gonna go two ends of the spectrum, right? First of all, stay away from relationships. Think about relationships. Relationships are beautiful. Don't get me wrong. Relationships are beautiful. Falling in love is beautiful. I want that for everyone. Everyone wants to fall in love. I want that for everyone. But you see, when we're still developing and maturing, a lot of us don't know what we want. So we get into relationships and then later on get our hearts broken, or later on have to break a heart because we got into something not fully knowing what we want. And later on down the line, when we develop, when we mature, all this kind of stuff like that, we find out what we want and be like, oh snap, this is not it. Now I'm gonna have to come out. Whereas if you had just waited a bit and not get caught up with the pressures, not get caught up with your auntie that's like 70 asking you when you're gonna get married, even though she's been divorced like 17 times, or getting caught up and getting pressured by your pastor that's like, that don't know his left from right in life, and he said, oh, so when are you gonna get married? When are you gonna get, like, if you could just wait a minute, if you can just keep your hot dog steady, do you understand? If you can just relax your hot dog for a minute. I know you're practicing celibacy, right? I know your hot dog is waving in the air, right? But if you can just chill for a second, yeah, and just wait until you know you're ready. Wait until you understand yourself a bit more. Wait until you understand identity. Wait until you just get things right. Like Adam, this is for the guys. Like Adam was doing three things before he met Eve. Number one, he was walking with God. He had a solid relationship with God. Number two, he knew what God wanted him to do, tending to keep the land. Number three, he was doing it. God called the animals to him and he began to name the animals. Adam knew what he wanted to do, had a strong relationship with God, and was doing it. Some of us are we just don't even know what we're doing, sitting in worship and looking at that thing over there when we should be worshiping God. Like, just how you're looking at that girl in worship with the back, with the blonde weave, with the Fenty, that's how you should be looking at Jesus though, right? So take your attention off of the thing, right? Put your hot dog away and just you get. Right, point number 5 now is fall in love, right? So I had a rant about staying away from relationships. Now, this is what I say: get into a relationship, but make sure you're ready. Don't just get into a relationship. And a lot of us think that just because we're lonely, that's a sign that we're ready to be in a relationship. Actually, that's a sign that you have a big problem in your life. Because when God brought Adam to Eve, it wasn't because he was lonely. He was alone, but he wasn't lonely. There's a difference between being alone and being lonely. A lot of people read and think, oh yeah, Adam was lonely, so that's why God. No. God brought Adam was doing his work. He was doing his thing. He was walking in purpose. And God said, all right, you know what? It's not good for you to be alone. This could be better. Let me bring you someone that will help you, that will improve what you're doing right now. That's why he brought Eve. My friends are in a relationship. I'm 21 and I ain't got no boyfriend, I ain't got no girlfriend. I'm 22 and it wasn't because of that. It wasn't because of that. It wasn't flipping because of that. So fall in love. Love is a beautiful thing. You know, when you find the guy that you're going to marry, when you find the girl that you're going to marry, and you two can partner together, worship together, pray together, do life, lock in together, and just start building. That's a beautiful thing. Like, desire that, pray about that, but make sure everything is in the right order, right? Because many of us are getting our hearts broken. Many of us are breaking hearts. Many of us are messing things up, messing ourselves up, right? Getting into situations that we ain't supposed to be in, and then we got to spend 6 months to a year healing from something that we was never supposed to be in the first place, and then talking about, oh yeah, God's going to use it as a testimony. It's like, yo, but you was never supposed to go through that. That was never supposed to be a part of your testimony, sweetheart. But all in all, what I'm saying is, fall in love, find the person that you're going to marry, be loyal to them, stay true to them, partner with them, keep God in the center, have beautiful Christian babies, bring them up in the glory of God, swing your hot dog as much as you want to swing your hot dog in marriage, because you got it right, because you did the process right, because you knew what you wanted, because you waited, you didn't rush, you found the right person, God led you to the right person, and all that good stuff, and you will have the best life ever, right? Some of you thinking, how can I do this all before the age of 25? And if you're past the age of 25, just start working on it right now. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, we can't help it. You're past the age of 25, like, start patterning it, right? Just start patterning it from now. But I'm saying, for those of you guys that haven't hit 25, or reaching at 25, but just over 25, listen, it's time for you to start patterning these things. And as soon as you get them in order, the more easier your life will be. It's your boy EB. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Let's go.